come through real quick, share a few thoughts about Floyd Mayweather's feelings on who he feels. And he said this is who the tweet said, this is who Floyd feels are the three biggest names in boxing. And I'm not here to dispute that because that's his opinion, right? And he probably has some stats and stuff that he's basing that off of. You know, I'm sure his pay-per-view numbers and this, that, and the other. But if boxing only has three big names, those are the three biggest names, I mean, it really has a problem, right? And they may not be the biggest name. You still got Tyson Fury, who's a big name. And most of the time when you got a heavyweight that's had some big fights, their name is big, you know. He could have just been talking about in the USA, you know, so not making my point on either that because, again, that's his opinion, and he didn't say what he used to justify that opinion or quantify it. But it made me think, like, man, you got these young guys, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis. So Keyshawn and Shakur for sure. I just pull them out. And Devin too, but I'm going to go further with those two. All these dudes had great amateur careers. The other two, Keyshawn and Shakur, I think they got like silver medals in the Olympics, which should be something that boosts your name up. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting for your country and you got second. If you got gold, boom, it should boost you up even more, right? But the fact that you was considered the best of the best to represent the country should really elevate your name, you know? But for some reason, boxing, and I don't know if I can just say the professional ranks, it falls on them, the people that's whoever's, you know, and I know it's a bunch of governing bodies, you know, sanctioning bodies, whatever. No one governing body that kind of oversees it all, which it should be. But how is it that other amateur sports now, especially nowadays, and they had certain restrictions placed on them to where they couldn't make money, but now they getting rich in amateurs. And before then, though, you still knew who these dudes was before they made it to the pros. It was set up like that, you know. They were promoted well. I mean, the teams they were on, you know, promoted them well. So I don't know if you can blame the boxers themselves, the amateurs, but somewhere along the line, I feel that in boxing, they should have that same type of effect when you in the amateur system, just like colleges amateurs. You know, you one of the best there. Your name should be ringing bells. Oh man, here comes so and so. We knew Peyton Manning was coming. We heard of Reggie Bush and everything he was doing at USC. Johnny Manziel. You knew these dudes was before they even came, and they had names. You know, that either they can build on it, or you know, if not, then it was all under false pretenses. You know, Bo Jackson, Dion, these dudes were able to build names despite having that amateur restrictions they had back then. Nowadays, name, image, and likeness is allowing these dudes to even make money now, you know, and boost their names up even more. But it should be the same thing in amateur boxing. These dudes should be able to promote, boost their names up, whatever it is. That's going to help. So when they become pros, they not like starting over pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like none of this stuff meant anything, you know, from the way it looked, you know, these dudes. And Devin, I can go back to him. So he came into the pros and he's got belts, different weight classes. It's fought some good competition, and if he don't have a big name, why not? They promoting them well, you know. So I mean, know some politics going on and this and that, but boxing got to come on with it. All this money flowing around, and you're wondering why the sport can only reach a certain point and then get stuck and then go back a little bit, then come back, like, okay, here we go, here come, and it's always this back and forth. It can't ever get over that hump. Get to the hump and might make it a little further, but boom, roll back down. Um, you know, got to make some changes in the way things are going right now. I didn't like the fact that when stuff had started going, and Bub was kind of speaking on, having the boxers involved and sitting at the table, and then you got former boxers who were like, nah, it should just be the promoters. Like, man, no. Everybody needs to come up. I thought Bud, he was one of the people that was advocating for the pros going out and showing up at these amateur events, Golden Gloves. Like, let's make these events great again. I mean, because nowadays, if they was big back then in the 90s and stuff, nowadays with the right promotion, it'll really blow up. The winners, stuff will blow up. It doesn't mean anything right now. Once you hit pro, it's just starting over. All the way over. Your name and everything, At least those dudes coming in, shit, LeBron didn't even play college. Came straight out of high school and had a name. What's going on, boxing world? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ain't gonna argue against that man's opinion. That's his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean those are the best boxers. Don't mean that he right either. But it's still his opinion. Floyd's name and opinion hold weight because he was a big name. So him saying names and stuff that he was actually classified as the face and all this other stuff. I can understand why people would just hold that as gold. But who is the face? Nobody. To me, there is no face of boxing right now. Everybody fighting for it. Canelo ain't, Fury ain't, Tank ain't. So one person I could just say, hey, I guess Canelo probably would be the closest, because no matter what weight class people at, like Floyd, people want to fight him. From all weight classes, smaller and bigger. But you got to live up to expectations and win your fights. I mean, you don't have to be undefeated. But if you the face, then you just not the same face we had before the boxing, in my opinion, which was Floyd. And despite all the negativity people spew and all this, and he weighed and all, we can go back and forth on that all day, because I promise you don't win that one, because all I bring is facts, no opinions. We're going to go straight through the facts and the timelines of all that other stuff people say, the waiting to fight Mosley, and even though he called Mosley out plenty of times, and Mosley started talking about his tooth was loose when they asked him about Floyd and trying to put him on somebody else, and the whole Pacquiao fiasco, and the fact that we knew what was really going on, and I don't blame Pacquiao for that either. It's the same thing as what I've said, Shakur, the problem Shakur gonna run into. Bob Arum is interested in making big fights under his own promotional brand. Really not into bringing another company in. Don't say anything about Wilder and Fury, because that was already negotiated before their rematch was negotiated before, and when he wasn't even with Top Rank Fury. So that's not that, but it just got to make complete money sense for him, or he ain't doing it, it's not worth the risk. And we seen how he did Bud and shitting on him for trying to make fights. Yeah, he felt like he lost a whole Hollywood neighborhood on, or whatever however he put it. But he wasn't getting them the big fights. So that's that. I don't think Shakur gonna get the big fights, and I feel like that's why Manny wasn't getting the fights that he wanted. That's why Bud couldn't get the fight with Manny. Just even though it was fights on his own card, on his own promotion, those would have been fights, So he flipped it. Couldn't give Manny what he wanted to fight Bud, so here, you fight this dude for what you want, and you're gonna lose to him. Which we know Manny beat that dude, and then Bud turned around and beat him and got the belt. So just to satisfy Bud thinking that's what he want, but I'm sure could have kept that belt. Give me the Pacquiao fight, Shout out to Earl, my boy Earl back in training. I had to say that because I see Bud name a lot. I don't want people to get it mixed up. If I'm picking sides, I'm choosing the Earl Spence side. But at the end of the day, may the best man win again. I don't hate nobody. So I don't even finna shit on Bud just to uplift Earl. But Earl, I'm repping the hometown. I'm gonna stay that way. But that's it. Just wanted to run that down quickly. I'm gonna bring some more. As stuff start happening around, we'll see where it take us. But either way, I ain't gonna hold you. Hope everybody enjoy the rest of y'all day. And then one last thing. So I dropped a bunch of videos all like at the same time because those were videos I had made before that just wasn't posting. So they may look a little out of time, stuff that I had talked about 3 weeks ago dropped just yesterday, but it was just realized that for some reason my videos that I was making, I was going prop. Some of them I just left it like it was. I'm just like, man, forget it. But the others, I was like, hey, maybe somebody can use it, whatever. I just made that Clarissa video yesterday, though. Just talking about that, what was going on. Just one last thing on that. I know if they were to make that fight happen, man, the attention that it would bring from women, especially black women, they're going to line up to see that fight, so, and everybody going to pick who they want to win. It's going to bring a lot of attention, good attention. So hopefully they can make it happen and drop the animosity. And if you got it, then just take it out in the ring and drop it after y'all fight. But it ain't got to be no animosity because both of y'all trying to show who the best. But that's it. Y'all have a good one.